This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1153, and it's the Relevant Podcast. Here in Orlando, I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Geary.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, it's our managing editor, downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
And that's all. It's just the three of us today, everybody. The adults didn't join us. It's just us.
Wait, I'm one of the adults?
Oh, that's true. I think the two rappers probably would not think of themselves as the parental figures in this dynamic. Anyway.
If they've listened long enough, they would know that, that's the closest we've got.
Here's why I'm offended that Derek and Marty are not on today. Because today, as this show comes out, April 2nd, it is Jesse Carey's birthday. And I was going to make a big deal about it. And now they're not here. So happy birthday, Jesse.
Oh, thank you. Another year,
Are birthdays a big deal in the Carey household? Or are you doing anything big? Are you excited?
I'm excited. We're not doing anything all that big. I think we might all go to the beach tomorrow as a family. Though my kids were very excited about April Fool's Day. The day prior to my birthday.
We've always noted that God did the ultimate April Fool's prank by making your birthday a day after April Fool's Day.
I barely missed it. I was right there.
I just wonder how different you would be if you really were born on April Fool's Day. Like, I do think you would really embrace pranks, jokes, humor, even more than you already do. So maybe God knew what he was doing by not putting you on the actual April Fool's Day.
The ironic thing is God played the ultimate April Fool's Day prank on me because my ex-wife's birthday is April Fool's Day. So there you go. It's true.
It is true.
Moving on.
But the day before my birthday, it was a Monday, and I'm always very tired Monday mornings. Mondays, that's not unique, This Monday morning, I heard noises in my hallway or in my house, and I got kind of nervous. What's happening here? There's sounds coming from the house. It's very dark. And I didn't know what time it was, so I looked at my phone. It was the middle of the night. It was 5:45 a.m. So I went out to investigate. My heart's racing, and I go out and I see my two young children, ages 11 and 8, in the hallway, and they scamper away. And they had both set their alarm clocks for 5:30 in the morning to go and rig the house with April Fool's pranks. Now, my wife got up in front before me and had cleaned up a lot of what they had set up, but they had gone full Home Alone in the house.
Why would you clean that up? That's wonderful.
Yeah, I think some of it was borderline dangerous. And my in-laws were saying their grandparents were staying there too. So it was legit hazard in the house, because in their mind, Home Alone
black
is the
tar
height.
with nails poking up probably
Home Alone
should
is the
not.
height of pranking, but it was this is gross, saran wrap over toilets, a whole situation for everyone. But I will say this, it instilled in me a sense of hope for the next generation that, that they're willing to set their alarm clocks for 5:30 a.m. during spring break, because kids' spring break, just to try to prank their parents. It made me feel good about
good.
Not just the job I'm doing as a parent, but the future of our country.
Raise a child up in the way they should go, right?
That's right. They'll never turn from you. They might prank you, and they might have a paint can fall down from the stairwell and hit you and break your nose in the middle of the night. But at least they're on the right path.
And you'll be proud as you're healing your nose.
I was very proud.
Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Another time around the sun. Well, we have a great show in store for you today to celebrate Jesse's birthday. At the end of the show, we have a very special edition of Would You Rather, the Jesse edition. So I don't know what that entails. Emily wrote this. So we'll see.
I think we're all in for a treat.
Either I'm going to be apologizing or saying you're welcome at the end.
No apology will be accepted. So I hope it's good.
Well, it's my birthday gift to you. So
And also, we're joined by indie artist, one of our favorite female indie artists, Sarah Juers, joins us on today's show. If you don't know her music, you will, and it is worth sticking around for. All right, but stay tuned. Right now, up next, it's Slices.
You've been on my mind. Play it through, then I hit rewind. And it feels good every time. I can't stop thinking about you. I can't stop thinking about you. Been on my mind. Yeah, you're on it like all the time. Never felt like this inside. I can't stop thinking about you. I can't stop thinking about you.
You're listening to Alexander 23 and Corey Wong. The song is On My Mind. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right, I have a twofer today.
Sweet.
Interrelated twofer, and it's a tag team effort. Emily and I were coming down to the wire and what we want to talk about. And she sent me a study that I also want to pair with one that I found interesting. I'm going to close the loop on this. So according to some new research. Now, I will say this: it came from the UK, so this is British adults, but it stands to reason that this is somewhat of a Western phenomena, especially in the post-COVID era, where a lot of people are working from home. But this study found that 40% of adults have gone at least 3 days without a face-to-face interaction with another person. They found that levels of going long periods without seeing other people are lengthening. But I mean, maybe for different people it's different. I don't know when the last time I've gone more than 1 day without any sort of face. But
you're surrounded by people, though. You're not only your cul-de-sac and neighborhood, your family, your work.
I'm not saying that's a virtuous thing. I'm just saying like it's obviously it varies from people's different circumstances to circumstances.
I mean, I regularly go 3 days without seeing another face-to-face person or having. I think the study it wasn't not seeing another person in person, but having a conversation face-to-face because like. You can go to the grocery store and see people, but you're not like really conversing with them, right? So, but if we're saying it's conversation in person,
it was some interaction. But they also found that 28% reported feeling lonely while at a social event, and sort of the implication is that sort of changes in social behaviors have led to heightened feelings of isolation, even when people are out in the open. Now, I want to shift to another study. This one has me excited. That when this is from the American Library Association, which I'll be honest, there's not a lot of news comes out from that association. I don't even know what they do. I'm not sure what the American Library. I don't know who's a part of this association.
Probably librarians, if I had to guess.
I'm assuming, American librarians. I don't know. They don't release a lot of news. A lot of news doesn't come from them. The ALA. But they did.
I get a lot of clickbait from the Library Association. I'm
getting spammed up by the ALA all the time.
It's just a bunch of malware. They're the worst.
They keep talking about changing the card catalog system. It's a lot
from
of
Dewey
back and
Decimal.
Forth. The Dewey, Dewey's out. It's a big debate. It's going on since I've been in elementary school, and they've been slow playing it. But no, I
never understood why people thought that it was a very complicated system. It's like 10.6. Okay, it was like row 10, Bay 6. I mean, it's the same as the Home Depot app. Go to
Yeah,
row
I can't
46,
remember,
Bay
though.
12.
I can't remember though. Is it topical or is it's author and topical? Help me out. Like
It's topical and then author within the topic. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It's actually very simple. I kind of would volunteer work, whatever, in the school library when I was in 4th grade, and it was easy to follow along. So if a 4th grader can put books back using the Dewey Decimal System, I think, well, this might be on me. I assume American adults can, but
here's the thing:
I've been proven wrong.
Googling has removed our ability to find things in any kind of
Although I'm telling you, the modern equivalent of the library Dewey Decimal System is the Home Depot app. Or the in-store Target app, where it tells you specifically the location of the item you're looking for. Row 10, shelf 7. That's the Dewey Decimal System.
Row 10, but the thing is, there's the extra author layer. It's not like, I'm in
Once
the
you
men's
get
clothing,
to Bay 7 and you're
and
looking
now
for
I
your
have to find the
certain
Massimo
caulk.
section.
Yeah, you
not
just
the-
look for... Anyway.
Where's Massimo? Okay. I don't know what brands they say. Okay. No, but this report from the ALA, they're very excited about this. I'm surprised it hasn't led every newspaper. Because they're pretty thrilled about this finding that 54% of Gen Z and millennials visited a physical library in the past year. That seems very high to me. I would if you were to ask me. I'm not going to call the ALA liars, though. I refuse.
but think about it. They're a special interest group that has a funding interest in trying to create the narrative that people are using their resources.
Here's the thing. I'm not even going to dig into the methodology. I just want to believe it's true, and I'm going to. I refuse to think that they are that the ALA is behind some sort of library misinformation campaign, which Cameron seems like you're suggesting.
I am.
I'm going to back up the ALA. I went to the library this weekend.
There you go.
A physical library.
So Emily, I want to dig in here because we have these two studies. One is about how people are not.
I didn't go this weekend, but I've been pretty regularly.
Well,
there's one right nearby.
Well, look at that. Maybe.
And you were calling the ALA liars. That's interesting, Cameron.
Every time I go, I'm one of 2 people in there. So just FYI.
Well, you go to a lame library then. Mine's popping.
Well, but here's the thing. Look at what's happening here. We have these two studies. One is people need more social interactions out in the wild. You have another one about the number of people going to a place where you can gather communally over media. Now, I will say I haven't been to a library in a minute. The last times I've gone, I've really enjoyed it. They have video stores in these now. They have racks of Blu-rays and stuff. I don't need one real quick sidebar. How's that legal?
Same as books, man. They buy one book and then they hand.
How's that legal? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
That's basically Napster for books is what's happening there.
Dude, my library system includes an audiobook membership. So inside the library app, you can listen to every book they have audiobook for free. I'm going, that's audible.com. Literally.
How are publishers cool? Either way. But look, I think this if we can just figure out one other factor, because you have a place that is cool, that is full of media, that is free, right? You have this need for people to kind of get out and have. Here's the idea. Okay, so hear me out, ALA. Remember, I'm an ideas guy. There's no way I'm prepared to execute this. Library parties. What? That's right. Big parties themed at the library. Maybe some live music, maybe a little wine and cheese night. Maybe, who knows? I just feel like you got a place where people like going. The numbers are way up for young people. You got another study saying people need more interactions. Let's have little library mixers.
My science center does that. They have adult wine and cheese nights at the science center. It's Science Center After Dark, and it's all young adults.
Situation.
Yeah. The science center with the planetarium attached. It's awesome, and they have a huge outdoor third story patio, and it overlooks downtown, and it's awesome. You have your run of the science center and planetarium stuff as adults with drinking, and
Do you go to this?
I've been once. It was a cool party.
How was it?
It was nice. It was a lot of nerds, but I mean, I was.
I heard librarians, real talk, are just debauched, that they are just the complete degenerates on those nights. And
I don't doubt it.
I think if there's anyone you want to be careful partying with, but you're gonna have a good time, it's the ALA. You get them librarian. I'm just saying. I found these two studies interesting. That I'm not.
There's
saying
a loneliness epidemic, and I think the thing about Gen Z and millennials going to the library is a economic question.
Yeah,
because it's like they have brand new books, they have music, they have audiobooks, podcasts. My main library downtown by our old office has free like music studios, podcast studios, things that you can just like sign up for and use, and all the equipment. So like, why wouldn't they? I mean, like you can rent movies. Ours, we can literally just like go online and order movies and books and stuff, and they'll just deliver it to the house. So it's just like a whole, like, why wouldn't you use this free resource that your taxes have already paid for? You know,
that's what I'm saying. I'm a big rec center person, which is
same reason.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can play pickleball and basketball, and they have a game room, they have video games. Like it's a whole thing. But again, I feel like for libraries specifically, our generation could be the ones that revive these institutions and make them places where people are hanging. I'm all about it. I think I was very encouraged by the implications from the ALA. So
make libraries cool again.
Even though I suspect they're lying, but
I don't know if they can make them cool again, Emily. Like our downtown one also has like an open mic comedy night.
You have library comedy?
Yeah, I haven't attended because I've seen clips on social media. It's the nerdiest, uncoolest thing you've ever seen.
Be there
so, like, I don't know if it makes libraries cool again is the goal. Okay.
Dude, I would. Is it library themed comedy?
No, it's just at the library. They have this whole floor of like media. No, it's just public. Can sign up. They're trying to like
those little plastic sheets they put over the books.
Oh, with the Dewey Decimal System. Yeah.
I would be laughing so hard at all of those jokes. That sounds like my ideal night.
Oh man.
No, I do agree. There is something about like, making libraries like this communal thing that I don't know. I think it would be fun. I do definitely think it's an economic thing because there's one thing I know about Gen Z and millennials. We are not rolling in the dough.
You're basically advocating that libraries become the equivalent of Roman bathhouses, like the center of society where thought leaders gather.
That's what they were back in the day. That's where major things happen at the Library of Alexandria and all these places. Not just a place where you need a free bathroom pull over to. I don't know. Maybe that's just how I've used the bathroom or a library in a pinch before. Because they don't actually check your library.
I never thought about pulling over to a library for the bathroom. Like that's genius. But
if it's there, you're not going to get you don't have to buy anything.
Your taxes paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
If it's a gas station, I feel obligated to pay for something. You know what I mean? Or a restaurant. You can't just walk in and walk back out, or else you can never come to that restaurant again because you're the guy who just walked in to use the bathroom and leave.
Dude, this morning I was in a part of town I don't go to very often, and we were sitting at a red light. I was with Cohen, and I was like, I feel weird this part of town. He's like, why? I go, see that shopping center over there? See that Panera? I had to go to the bathroom really bad one day, and I just went in there, walked straight through the Panera, destroyed their bathroom, and walked right out. And I was like, I feel like I can't show my face on this side of town. You
have to act like you're on the phone on the way in and out, because otherwise, every worker knows. Everywhere.
And
they have
question.
Your picture up behind them.
I felt so bad. I did. But at
the library, you can't walk in on the phone because you're supposed to be quiet. So like,
at the library, you don't have to be ashamed. No,
do you look through the row
because they don't care.
I'm a taxpayer. I own this place. Yeah. No,
that's not how taxes work.
I paid.
I think it is.
Check. Yeah, why not? It saves them work because if I go check out a book, that's just work for them. You know what I mean? I'm not giving them revenue.
You could like browse the aisles, at least look like you're looking for something.
Emily, if I am a librarian and I see someone and they're going right to the bathroom, okay?
Yeah, thank God I don't have to like do any work right now.
Great, This is perfect. They're in and out because it changes my days here. Like if I'm a retail owner, I want them to buy something because this is my business, right?
Yeah.
If it's a library, it's like we should actually just have a rope that when you walk in, you can go one of two ways. Are you a free bathroom person? Or do you want to, we might as well, right? Like, there's no shame here.
Maybe this is what will solve the loneliness epidemic, is advocating that lonely people start using the library more for the restroom.
I'm assuming, if you were to ask me, I would assume they already are. It's right there by, look, if I got to take care of some business over City Hall, maybe a court date, they're usually clumped all together. Why not pop in? I'd make them really nice too. I'd make them the nicest bathrooms like in town. Like, they'd have those ice-in, air drying, air blades. I mean, whole deal. If I'm the mayor.
Yeah.
For
that's what you run on.
One, revamp library bathrooms. Get them
again.
pristine.
You're turning it into a Roman bathhouse. It's a gathering place where we take care of.
Maybe we put a spa in.
Hygiene.
I don't know.
See, I was thinking more of like Buc-ee's bathrooms mixed with library.
That's premium, man.
Yeah,
they
have like shower stalls and stuff.
Man, they're incredible. Okay, before we move to Emily's Slice, I actually have a question for you, Jesse. This is your birthday, so I was watching a show the other night that made me think of you. Okay. I've been watching The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. I got through the first couple of seasons. I'm on season 3. And I'm watching it last night, and things are actually happening. Like they're documenting stuff. Scientists are actually, this isn't just like one of those dumb TLC or History
like
Channel ones where like,
it
was like nothing actually ultimately happens, or like the Ghost Hunter shows or whatever. No, like stuff is happening. I'm sitting there watching it last night, like looking at this like evidentiary based phenomena. And I'm thinking, Jesse's told me many times that he's watched this show. What do you actually think about that place? What do you actually think about Skinwalker Ranch?
Okay. So it's funny. I would say I'm 50-50 I was having a conversation about this with someone the other day, and I would say 50% of me thinks that places like Skinwalker Ranch there could be some legitimacy to their, like, for whatever reason, whether it's some sort of like magnetic field or, mineral properties in the ground that have attracted legitimate interactions from forces that we don't fully understand, whether those are quote unquote like interdimensional or extraterrestrial. I'm open to that. Right. And I don't think that's the only place. I think there's a lot of places in the ancient world, like Mount Hermon in the Bible. You know what I mean? There was repeatedly a location where angels would, come down to interact with people. Like maybe there are just certain locations that for some reason have properties that make them, I don't know. But the other 50% of me thinks that the United States and probably other superpowers are in possession of highly, highly advanced, not just aerospace technology, but like new technologies that are radical departures from our current understanding of not just propulsion, but physics in general. We're talking about gravity and time manipulation and things like that. And that, part of the means of keeping those things secret, because you can't just keep them hidden, but it is to kind of flood the zone with misinformation and adjacent information, hide the truth in plain sight. And so, part of me thinks that places like Skinwalker Ranch or places that have like a reputation for this type of activity that they can actually catch on camera is happening intentionally to confuse not just the American public, but adversaries about what is real and what is unreal. Part of me leans pretty heavily that way just because it seems more rational. It seems, based on available evidence, because the government has done things like that before. Even outside like Area 51, they would send up certain craft. There's a famous case of a guy who was a retired military officer who lived near Area 51. And he would report seeing these strange craft in the sky. And the Air Force determined that he had actually witnessed some testing of some, new craft that was hyper secret. They actually would, on his phone line, like make like alien voices and, and make him like the guy literally had to go to a mental institution. They would make him believe that he was interacting with aliens to discredit the reports of what he actually saw. A place like Skinwalker Ranch, especially with it's so high profile with the TV show, that scenario would be very unsurprising to me if that was the case.
And there is a base nearby, and also when the other places UAPs are seen pretty regularly are also near military bases, like in Virginia or San Diego and things like that. So that part of the theory, I agree with you. The thing that doesn't jive with, because there's things like what's happening on shows I was watching last night, where like they basically have this thing of like when we poke the ranch, it responds kind of a thing. So they'll do testing, or they'll shoot up rockets, or they'll do different things to spur phenomena happening. And it's like, well, now we see this thing in the sky, or my computer's shut down every time we launch a rocket or whatever. And it's like, I'm going, that actually could be what you just said, like military dark tech, like, like you're shooting off rockets. We're going to come surveil you. We're going to like jam your computer. Like we're going to do different things to like mess with you. And you're equating it to the paranormal, but especially in the Mesa and stuff there in Utah, like there's like a lot of ancient cave drawings and things like that of the spirals, like which typically mean portal, and that shows up in different places around the world. And it's like, well, that military tech didn't happen in the 1600s, you know? So it's like, you know, there is that phenomena thing as well. And I think your theory is interesting that they take a natural phenomena place and put a military base somewhat near it and kind of overlay the two experiences for the people who live in that region. That's interesting.
Well, and I think if you're looking at the sort of ancient, whether it's artwork or writings or even religious ones, location tends to be a commonality factor. Like in the ancient world, they used to call them thin places. Like the place where the veil that even Paul references between our world and the next, that veil is thinner. Like that's what the ancient people used to call it. They knew of certain places that were just like that. And I think even if you look through scripture, they meant, the Valley of Megiddo and Mount Sinai, like there are certain locations that for one reason, or the Holy Land, like certain that seem to have the ability to allow the transversion of different types of either entities or kind of spiritual forces more easily. I don't know, but I do think it's an interesting theory, And they
also it really is this conflation of things that maybe are dark tech, military, seeing like weird flying objects and things like that. But then there are phenomenon of like people saying, I saw a creature, or this thing ate my cow, like in a very weird alien-y way. So it's like this weird, like, is this dark tech, or like, well, that doesn't explain some of the first person experiences that people have had and things they've witnessed and whatever. And it's like, it really is kind of like this jumbled, confused thing that it's interesting. You're kind of saying, well, it could be some of this and some of that. It doesn't have to be all either or. Yeah.
And I'll say that I don't think I'm supposed to say it, but I don't think this really matters. I'm just going to say it on record. There's another project I'm working on. And I don't know if this will ever see the light of day. So that's why I'm just going to throw it out there. And I got to talk with Representative Tim Burchett, who is a congressman from a member of the House of Representatives from Tennessee. And he is the leading lawmaker behind the UAP caucus, which is a collection of lawmakers, bipartisan, who are trying to force the military intelligence institutions to tell lawmakers what they actually know about the UAP phenomena. And so this is, you can look up him, you can look up the UAP caucus. And in a conversation that, I was part of recently with him in his office, he literally said, like, they are hiding something. We do know that. There's no question. He's like, but they are actively telling us information to make us look foolish, and they're mixing it with real information so that when we talk about it publicly, if something's disproven, we are all discredited. So it's put us lawmakers in a position where, because they've blended truth with untruth, we can't say anything because we risk discrediting ourselves because we don't know which one is true and untrue. So that is a technique that people who are trying to hide something, whether that is some sort of revelation about extraterrestrial, ultra terrestrial life or technology, blending fact and fiction makes it impossible to kind of get to the bottom of it.
Well, and too, he doesn't even know, potentially, he doesn't even know who's doing what, because, I mean, just going back to the days of watching Oppenheimer, I mean, the entire Manhattan Project wasn't even known to exist by the president, you know? So it's like there's definitely things the military is doing that is off the books, you know? And it's like, well, they wouldn't know about those agencies or whatever, you know?
Well, because they operate in such small information vacuums that, someone could be, like in the case of Oppenheimer, someone could be working on a component of the nuclear bomb, but not even know that they're working on a nuclear bomb, even though they're part of this larger thing. And so when you talk about something as sophisticated as like a reverse engineering program, which there's been whistleblower, allegations of, if someone's working on some sort of new propulsion technology or something, they might not even be aware that they're part of a technology reverse off-world reverse engineering program because of how siloed all of this is. But I do think, go ahead.
As a Christian, dear listener, you should watch the Skinwalker Ranch thing on History Channel. It's really interesting when you, from a biblical understanding of the supernatural and the way that historically, according to the Bible, which we believe in, the supernatural interacted with the natural world. Watching this documentary, you don't take it necessarily as EBGB, demonic or aliens or whatever. If you're thinking about it in terms of supernatural, like even the native people talked about, like in the Cherokee creation story, how you're talking about the thinly veiled places. Yeah. It's like in their creation story, basically humanity crawled out of the other region and came into this realm, kind of a thing. And it's like, they believe that there's things that pass through the two dimensions of supernatural and natural. And so when you think about it in terms of Christian theology, it sounds crazy to us in American culture, but it's like biblically.
Listen, even when you look at, Joshua and Caleb and the spies going to scope out the promised land, they said we were as small as grasshoppers. They didn't say this was 12-foot people. This was, there were some sort of being of creature here, that is talked about in scripture that, I'm not saying that is directly related, but what I am trying to say is like, we see in part and we know in part.
We know in part, yeah.
That there's a lot that we just don't understand that isn't, in my opinion, contradictory of scripture.
I'm watching Emily because she's an Enneagram 5. She's a researcher. She's by nature a conspiracy theorist because she doesn't take things at face value. She wants to dig into the truth. But not crazy conspiracies, but like she wants to know more. She wants to know the full story. Emily, you haven't said a word. What are your thoughts? I know this isn't your beat. I know you haven't watched Skinwalker Ranch. I know you don't talk about aliens, but what do you think when you hear all this?
This is like the worst thing to put me on the spot for, because the reason I've been silent is because when it comes to stuff like this, I really don't like speaking without digging into the research myself.
Yeah.
But I mean, this stuff is really interesting to me. And like, I think I've talked about, I like conspiracies where like, no one is harmed. That's like kind of where I draw the line of conspiracies. Anything else to that, fair game. So this is really interesting. Like I absolutely believe that like extraterrestrial life is real. And even biblically, I think that, there are non-human beings that appear in the Bible that we should dig into more, and we should.
Pretty key part of the Christmas story, FYI.
Right. But I'm saying like even with angels, like people see like a Christmas story play when they're like 6 years old, and that's all that they know about angels is like the very poor constructed theology that the children's director put on stage. But it's like there's actually a lot to angels and other beings that we should dig into that I think are interesting. So I'm very into this. That being said, I haven't done the 60 hours plus of research that I want to dig into this topic before jumping into this podcast
Cameron
conversation.
and I are probably far deeper than 60 hours. I will say Emily, if we could, real talk, I would love to do an episode with Diana Pasulka. I can't remember. I think I've recommended her book to you, American Cosmic. She's a religious studies professor at Wake Forest. And she was doing
write it down. Let's do this. Let's get it.
Her name's Diana Pasulka. Her book is called American Cosmic. And her very interesting backstory. She was doing a doctoral thesis on Catholic saints and the quote unquote miracles that led to their sainthood. And she found all these commonalities like in their experiences. And a lot of them had similar things. Like a lot of them were burned in some way. A lot of them had interactions with some bright light and she started kind of looking through them through lenses of not necessarily just Catholic theology, but of what are all these people experiencing that seems to be verified accounts, and has really interesting theories about, encounters that people see through a religious lens, but what are they actually encountering if there's validity to them? Anyway, she's got involved, her book, American Cosmic, talks about her path, even got her involved with like the space program and reverse engineering programs and whistleblowers, but trying to tie it into a historical religious context to understand what these encounters can be, not just from a contemporary mindset, but how was this understood in the 1600s and the 1400s? So someone who's thought about this a lot from a lot of different angles and thinks there's, more that we need to think about than just kind of what is right in front of us,
Yeah. And I want to have that conversation, and I will have that conversation. And then I will have a lot of things to say. I think this is where my Enneagram 5 butts heads with being a podcaster is I really want to know what I want to say before I speak on a topic. And so y'all bring these interesting topics up, and I'm like, can we bring this up in 2 episodes after I've done a deep dive research? But they never come up again. So we'll make this come up.
This is also why I sometimes am watching things like Vanderpump Rules, and I want to talk to Emily about it the next day. And I'm like, I'm watching Skinwalker. I want to talk to Jesse about it. Vanderpump Rules. Emily, can you believe Sheena and, Tom back in Vegas? And she's like, I haven't watched the episode yet. I don't want to partake in this conversation.
And listeners, I've never watched a single episode of Vanderpump Rules, but
she knows everything that's gone on.
I keep up with the lore because of Cameron and my other friend who she needs someone to talk to about it.
I will say this. I know nothing about Vanderpump Rules, but I will say I think both of these topics have equal merit and weight for the future of humanity, from my understanding of that program.
That is true. All right. Well, we have run out of time for slices. So, Emily, you just got to save yours for next week. Sorry about that. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, Sarah Juers joins us. You're listening to Yacht Club. The song is Human Nature. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Well, our guest today is Sarah Juers. She's an up-and-coming indie artist who just released her album, It Was Dark Until It Wasn't, about 6 months ago. She'll also be at this year's Holy Smoke Festival, which we talked to No Big Deal about a couple episodes ago. Well, we sat down with her to hear more about her musical journey and how she finds inspiration from unexpected places. Here's Emily's conversation with Sarah Juers.
I've changed a lot. I'm different than I was before. I found some keys and I've taken the chance to open the door. Oh, what a beautiful thing to grow.
You've been putting out music for about 10 years now. So when did you first start pursuing music, and when did you move from doing it as a hobby to something you wanted to pursue seriously as like a full-time career?
Okay, so you know what's funny is, it was a hobby up until, quite literally December of last year. I've been just doing it, and I don't even know what prompted me. I think like the spirit of God, quite literally, to just start making music, because I never thought I would be a musician, never sang in front of people until I was 17. Like, I just was kind of just doing my thing. And then all of a sudden I started writing songs about myself. Eventually started sharing it with people, and they're like, Sarah, this is really good. And I was like, what? Like, and then so I was like, oh, maybe I just put it on SoundCloud, just for fun. Like, whatever happens, happens. And then I've just kind of been doing that since then. So now I just turned 27 on Tuesday. So now it's been officially 10 years of just kind of doing it. And I always was like, no, I'm never going to do it full time. I'm not trying to be an artist. Like, I'm just trying to, just something I do. And then in December, I was like, this is what I was meant to do. I can't stop like pretending like it's not. And I can't let fear be what's keeping me from like, at least like, diving in a little bit more. So up until about December of last year, so that's how many months, three months or so, I was like, oh, I think I want this to be a little bit more serious.
Look a little deeper, you might uncover my shadow side and my wicked ways, my selfish heart, all my sinful days.
Over these last 3 months, how do you think you've changed in that time?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've just changed so much personally in the last, 6 months, and then 3 months, But as far as the music, I just finally deciding and saying it out loud that I want to be a full-time musician, because I want my life, I want everything, all my time and energy to go into that. That was huge, a huge step. So now, like, I'm just like kind of starting to like try to build a team, work a little bit more with some people who can help me in areas that I don't know about, which is a lot of places. Like, I mostly just write and sing. So everything else, I'm just like trying to find people, and I have found some people, my best friend being my manager, but she's like amazing. And she's like, the second I told her like I want to do it for real, she was like, okay, bet. And then she's just been like full steam ahead, finding opportunities, just like getting connections. And so I'm just slowly but surely trying to figure it out. Like, it's all unknown to me, and like, there's not like one set way and path. So it's just kind of like trying to take a step forward and trying to keep walking forward.
I think a lot of people might recognize you from your work with Christian artists like No Big Deal or John Keith, but you're not a Christian hip hop artist, and yet you're not a Christian worship music artist either. So when someone asks, how do you describe your music?
So that is a question, and for just about 10 years, I've been told that I should know the answer. But just honestly, I feel like I don't ever go into making a song of like, I want to sound like this, or like I don't really think that much about like what I'm trying to be or sound like, or where I'm trying to be, what lane I'm trying to be in. Like, I genuinely just make music, and I think I have so many influences from, like, I love soul music, I love gospel music, but I kind of like rocky music, not hard rock, but like, rock music. Like, I love I love hip hop too. But so I just feel like it's like all comes together like a fusion. And I also love just straight indie, like Bon Iver, or like, just folk, I guess, and I feel like I'm kind of a combination of all those things. I don't like put myself I don't limit myself to a genre in the sense of like, because I think some of my stuff will like lean one way, and then my other stuff will lean another way. And I kind of just do what I like. But so I don't know if I have a specific genre really.
On a voyage for time, but all my lips ain't right. Clouds fog my sight, and I'm a one-man crew. So I drop anchor in your shadow. Your presence is my present.
Okay, so it sounds like sonically you get inspiration from a lot of different places. Where do you get inspiration from lyrically?
Yeah, lyrically, I mean, again, I feel like I love words. I love words. I love poetry. Like, poetry is like probably one of my favorite art forms, and like way to create an image to make something invisible, like visible in your mind. I just think it's such an amazing, insane concept. And so I like songs that do that for me, or like, I like songs that make you feel. I like movies that make you feel. I love anything that just makes you feel. But where I get as far as content, like, it's just my life for the most part. But what's been really cool is recently I don't really have anything personally that I want to write about, or I don't feel like I have anything new to say. So I've just been kind of going back to scripture, and I'm like, I want to write basically like songs that I kind of put myself in the shoes of someone in the Bible and like write from their perspective. So that's been really fun and something new. But all previous stuff is just literally my life. As far anywhere from the men I'm obsessed with and love, to, even though I never had a boyfriend, but the men I'm obsessed with, and they're my boyfriends in my head, or like, literally God and either my doubts and my confusion or my joys. It's all of my life, and I don't know, just what's going on in my mind, I guess.
That was Sarah Juers. Make sure to check out her new album, It Was Dark Until It Wasn't. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's Would You Rather, Jessie edition.
I tried to God, he told me what's up. I don't need luck, no fingers crossed. Yeah, the bottom too crowded, the higher I go. The less I see talent, they hide in the robe. The prettiest people are depressed the most. Yeah. None of my meetings indoors. I'm out in the course, playing in shorts. You in the building, I'm yelling out for. Yeah, my stomach was growling, I couldn't record. They wanna be buddies, I'm not Pauly Shore. I saw the call, I thought you was black, so I hit ignore.
You're listening to Marty and Gavin the Hot Rod. The song is Golf Course Meetings. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. Okay, it is Jesse's birthday today, so we wanted to do a special Jesse-themed game or version of Would You Rather. So,
Wait, Jesse, how old are you turning? Can I ask that? Do we need to bleep it out?
59 years old.
No, well, if you look at me, upper 50. No, it's 41 this year, believe it or not. Yeah.
The most forgettable year age-wise.
I know. I was going to say, it's like turning 22. Like you had 18, 21, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, call us when you're 25.
Even 20, you enter a new decade, and then 21, and then 24 is coming up because you can rent a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel like 19 is like a pretty forgettable age. It's
But you're in college. Birthdays still matter back then.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
41,
I
you're
guess.
on the wrong side of it for the first time.
It's like
not
37.
That exciting.
It's like-
Yeah.
Great. Well, 37 though, you really don't want 37 because you're staring at 40. Once you've crossed 40, 41 is kind of like, meh, I'm still kind of 40. Like you're not
You're
staring
like
at
going
50.
down the hill now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 40 was the tipping point. Yep. All right. Anyway, would you rather? Here we go. I have not read these in advance. Did AI write them? No, you wrote them.
AI did help write a decent amount. But not
All right, here we go. Jesse, would you rather have a golden eagle as a pet? See, or you golden eagles. Would you rather have a golden eagle as a pet or an Orlando magician who is not good at magic as your best friend? Would you rather have a golden eagle as a pet or an Orlando magician who's not good at magic as your best friend?
I would easily take the Orlando magician because even a not good magician is still a magician. Even if there's only a couple tricks, it's still a great icebreaker.
But like, what if he thinks he's good? Like, he's kind of like embarrassing.
That's
That's
He
even
can't be like,
funnier.
This is,
It's kind of
this
funnier.
is my best friend.
Here's the thing about magic. It's not just about the tricks. It's about it's a performance, right? If you come in the more swag, I don't care. He could do like comedy magic. I don't care. I'm in 100%.
At the library.
And I don't want to take care of a big bird. This seems like a lot of cleanup. I had parakeets as a kid. They live forever too. They live for like 10 years and you're cleaning newspaper.
Wait, yeah, I do actually need to look at the life expectancy of a golden
Emily.
eagle because that is a lifelong commitment.
Emily, would you rather be a lifeguard on Virginia Beach or join the aquarium's standing response team to save whales?
I think I would rather do the straining response team because I just don't know if I want the responsibility of saving humans who can't swim. Like, mad respect to the lifeguards, but I can't do it. I'd rather try my best trying to like save a whale than a human.
Jesse's been a lifeguard in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, but to be fair, it wasn't a cool beach lifeguard. It was at a condo at the beach and the pool was only 5 feet deep. And it was a lot of just breaking up parties and stuff. I got reprimanded for joining a pool volleyball game. To be fairness, they needed an extra player. They asked me, but that was my first week on the job. Now, I told Cameron this. I'm pretty proud of it. I got pool to pay period twice that summer. So it all
Pool
worked out.
to pay
Subway
period.
gift card, baby. Yep. Subway gift cards.
I actually didn't know that you were a lifeguard when I wrote that question.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jesse, would you rather drink a bird smoothie or never eat Taco Bell again for the rest of your life?
Oh, I would. There's a lot I would consume to not lose the ability to continue my Taco Bell love. So I would take the bird smoothie. I'd eat a bird. I'd eat the golden eagle if I had to illegally.
Okay, and to be clear, people, a bird smoothie is not a blended up bird in a liquid form. It's Jesse at the airport once saw one of those smoothie places, and they had the blending thing full of water. And it was sitting there soaking or whatever, and a bird was splashing around in it. And then the person, not seeing the bird, went and got the thing of water and made a smoothie with it. So it was a bird smoothie because a bird was bathing in the water. So,
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, it does sound like Jesse is interested in eating a blended up bird in order to keep eating
If I had to.
Taco Bell.
If it came. to
Emily, Jesse is exempt from answering this question. You can. Would you rather listen to Nickelback for a week straight, 24/7, or watch only Nicolas Cage movies for 24 hours straight? Because he has done both.
I would pick Nicolas Cage movies because I honestly have a great time watching the National Treasure movies. So like those 4 hours there would be great. The 20 other hours, we can make it work. So I'll pick Nick Cage.
Jesse, did she make the right decision?
Yeah. Oh, easily. I mean, yeah, not close.
Jesse, okay, these are ones that, okay. Would you rather discover definitive evidence that the moon landing was faked and live with the consequences of widespread disbelief, or be granted the power to predict future alien encounters but be unable to prevent them? That is a very complicated question, Emily.
I would take the latter. I would take the knowledge. I don't care if I can't prevent them. Give me that future talk all day.
Emily, would you rather be a televangelist assistant for your entire career or live on ORU's campus forever?
This is tough because I've never been to ORU's campus. So
have you watched the Jetsons?
Yes, yeah.
Picture that on the ground, and you've been to our campus.
I had a great time there.
Then I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm on ORU's campus. No
live.
offense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be a televangelist assistant. I'll say that definitively.
Okay. Jesse, would you rather have all your friends team up to prank you in an elaborate scheme, or prank each of your friends individually but risk damaging your relationships with them?
I've been.
You're going to be the victim or the bully?
I've been in both of those scenarios. I'd probably take the victim just because of laziness, and it's a lot less to plan and think through. So I'll do that.
Wait, so you have been, like, your friends did all plan a prank against you?
Oh, I mean, many times.
His children have.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
This
legacy.
week alone, that's happened. Yeah.
Emily, would you rather prank your boss and risk your job for a hilarious moment, or prank a colleague and have them take the fall for it?
This is funny because, Cameron, you are my boss.
HR is listening in, just FYI.
Yeah. I mean, I think I could get away with pranking you, Cameron, and still keep my job intact. It'd be a very thin line, but I think I could pull it off.
I agree. Jesse, would you rather eat nachos with a knife and fork or eat pizza with a knife and spoon?
Wow. I'd rather not do either, but I think I can make the nachos work. I'd try to I'd use them like chopsticks, I think, and just grab the nucleus and start from there. The nacho
nucleus of the nachos. That's insane.
It's the middle one
thing
that
to think
connects
about.
it. Yeah.
Emily, you have a lot of nachos and Taco Bell questions. I mean, I can see 4 more, but anyway, last one. We've run out of time. Emily, would you rather be an unknowing guest on Nathan For You or live through a real life Scott's Tots moment?
That is tough because those are both really tough to live through. It's like in the Scott's Tots, I'm either the student who can't go to college
you're
anymore.
Watching. You're seeing the awkwardness and the disappointment. But Nathan For You, you're like the butt of the joke, right?
Yeah. I think I'd rather do Scott's Tots.
Jesse, did you pick the right answer?
No, Nathan for you, for sure, because it always works out for that person in the end.
I don't think that's true, actually.
I would definitely take Nathan For You. It'd be a big dream of mine. I'm hoping. A lot of times when I get in an awkward situation at like a retail store or just like out in the wild, I'm kind of looking for cameras. I'm like, could this be it?
Show's been off for about 10 years now, but you're still looking for those
back,
cameras.
Emily. Maybe they're bringing it back. You don't know.
How else are you going to? Yeah, you just got to bring it back out as a surprise. We're not going to announce it.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
All right. Well, there's a lot more that came from. Maybe we'll subject the other guys to Jesse questions.
I think we should. Absolutely.
In a future show.
Whole episode.
Right.
That and Diane Pasolka. It's going to be quite the episode.
They're going to come back and be like, who is this, this academic leader talking about aliens? And then we're doing a Jesse game? Like, they're going to be so confused.
Or we could ask Diana these questions. That's the whole
have her
interview
sit
is
in.
actually just these.
I love it. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Sarah Juers for joining us. Make sure to check out her latest album, It Was Dark Until It Wasn't. It's available wherever you get your music. Also, make sure to check out the new issue of Relevant featuring Brooke Lidgerwood, Rainn Wilson, Mike Todd, on and on and on and on. There's a ton of stuff in the issue, and it's available for free. Just click on the magazine tab over at relevantmagazine.com. It's available right there, thanks to our presenting sponsor, The Covenant, which is available now on Apple TV. All right. On that note, we'll wrap it. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Emily Brown.
We'll see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone. And send Jesse birthday wishes on social media. He is very, very active on all the platforms.
Yes. Yeah, you'll find me.
You can't get him off.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
You have to act like you're on the phone on the way in and out.
Relevant Podcast Network.